Hey guys, welcome to the BMW Blog YouTube channel and welcome to West Sussex, England. The reason why I'm here today is to introduce to you this special car behind me, and to do that I have with me Sven, the chief engineer of the MINI John Cooper Works from Bulldog Racing, and we're going to be talking about the car a little bit. We're going to be going around to see the design details, the technical specs of the car as well. We're going to hop inside, and then towards the end of the video I'm going to be getting a special ride in this car. So without being said, Sven, tell me more about this car. Walk me through some of the technical specs, some of the changes, and then we can talk about the 24 hours of Nürburgring race as well.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, this is the car we started this year on the 24 hours Nürburgring.
Okay.
We had a project and an idea that we started in winter to get this car ready for the 24-hour race, and then we choose a Mini Cooper for this race so that we have a really nice and fan-likely car.
Of course.
And yeah, so we did a couple of modifications on the car, because for the 24-hour race you need to put a few things extra, which is not necessary.
You need to bring the big guns out, basically.
Exactly. So then we can just start on the outside. So the changes everybody can see already from the outside, which we need to change. If we just start from the front, we added for the 24 hours, because it's a day and night race, we added some additional headlights,
of course,
in the front, so that we get as much as possible visibility in the night. Then we added a splitter as well for the front. This one covers also the half of the engine bay, that nothing will get damaged to the car. And that we have hopefully a bit better
downforce as well.
Better downforce on the front. Also, like you can see, we added some fans all around on each cooler, that we avoid to have any problems with the radiator in case of pickup or some stones gotta hit it. So that we race it hopefully as long as possible. Then if we just go past
to the side,
we can see on the front that's a new brake system. So we have a new brake caliper from AP Racing. We have Brembo discs, Parkit racing pads, and CNC cutted adapters. So which is just modified for this car.
Of course.
For the rear, we just keep the standard brake system. We just added some different endurance pads, so that we can last 24 hours without changing. So this gives us a profit in saving some time on the pit stops.
Of course.
Then on the car as well, we changed the suspension. We got a KW 3-ray damping system.
So
with the rebound
adjustable suspension.
Exactly. As well, in the rear, we changed to a different camber link, so that we can increase more camber on the rear. The front is no problem with the KW suspension. These are like the most things we changed on the setup system for the suspensions. Then if we just go to the rear, I mean, the first thing you will see is
here, of course,
a big wing. Itself made for this car. We got the option that we can choose the wing in different positions, which we tested and found a good setup for the Nordschleife. With the best wing position. As well, then what you just can hear, not see, it's like we got plastic windows.
So lightweight.
Lightweight, exactly, to save some weight. As well, when you look inside on this rear window, we have a big fuel cell inside, so that we can fuel through the window. Then also in the rear, we got a diffuser, which will also give us some downforce on the rear, in combination, of course, with the wing. Also from the exhaust system, we just changed the downpipe, so that we keep the engine as standard as possible. We changed the downpipe and just like a strong straight pipe to the rear.
So speaking of speaking of the engine, any upgrades there?
On the engine, we didn't change anything. We put just a different intercooler in the front, which gives us better cooling. Then we added a differential locking in the gearbox, which gives us a chance to lock up to 75% in the gearbox. So it's pretty strong in the steering wheel. Exactly for racing on the racetrack, it's pretty important that you get always a good feedback in the steering. And also for performance reason, it's really good to get it. As well, just hide it under the number plate. We got a rain light, which is from the regulation, you would need to get it for the 24-hour race, because in the night or during the day there can be fog on the Nordschleife at any time. That's most of the things.
Should we take a look inside maybe?
We can take a look inside. Yeah, like you can see already from the inside, we just keep the main head display like we keep it from the standard street car. We just did some small modifications because we got a racing display, which is just in front of the drivers, which gives us more information about the temperature, the car behaving, which is important for the drivers during the race. Of course, as you can see, we changed the steering wheel. This gives also the driver a better grip with the gloves.
Yeah, it's Alcantara.
Exactly. So the gloves got exactly the same. So the opposite, which fits better. Then we got all the buttons, which we can use. It's for radio, drinking system. We can use it for different function on the car. Then if you just head up more to the inside, to the normal head-up display, we just keep it at standards because we got the climate system inside. It's working as well like on the normal street car. Underneath we got some different buttons and switches, which gives us the chance to, for example, switch on rain light. Gives us, because we got electronic lighting panels on the outside during the night that the guys can see, or the fans outside, the number of the car and that they get identified with it.
We got, of course, the roll cage, right? I mean,
exactly. This is the most important thing before you start a race. This is welded, and also we painted the full car inside. So we got with red, like the John Cooper Works color on the cage, and the gray inside, which gives us a good contrast. Now today we got 2 seats inside. Normally on the race car we will just have 1 bucket seat, which is fully covered. And now for this chance we added a second seat with seat belts so that you get the experience with the car as well. On this we also got like a driver net, which we need for safety reason out on track.
Of course.
Otherwise, we just got a couple of features inside, which gives us the chance, like a GPS warning system for the track. We got on the co-driving side a small display, which gives us also some information about the turbo, about engine load, a couple of things we need as well, temperatures. Then, of course, we will have a fire extinguisher system inside, which is necessary, a battery kill switch in case of an emergency or accident. And then, like we already explained it from the outside, we got the big fuel cell, which is welded inside the ground bay. And we moved a couple of things from, for example, the battery from the front to the rear, just for balance and weight distribution. And that's most of the things we did.
Any other lightweight measures that you've taken inside?
Of course, we removed everything what's not necessary. So that's the first thing when we stripped the car for painting and welding. We decided if we need it or not, just to save as much weight as we can. Of course, we will change. We changed a couple of things, but when you have like a 100-liter tank, of course, there's more weight coming inside the car than we had before. On the car itself, we just changed the most things we can just leave out.
Of course. All right, sounds good. So maybe let's take a look at the front one more time. Maybe you can tell me more about what's coming for the car and what should we expect in the future. Maybe we can tease a few things there. Okay, Sven, so thanks for the quick overview of the car. Absolutely fantastic. I've seen also the social media reactions to the car. We've also covered the car quite a bit. Very, very special. Now, tell me what's in the future for the car and what do you hope to achieve this year and maybe next year?
Of course, so our target was 6 months ago that we can start the 24-hour race on the Nürburgring. We did a great job to put the car like in this condition on the track. We raced it, that was the target for the first year. Of course, now we got a really good feedback from everybody. So our plans are hopefully that we can continue racing a couple of races this year. And of course, the main target is to compete the 24-hour race next year on the Nürburgring. So that's our plan, and we are working on it. And let's see what the future will bring.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for the details. I really appreciate it. Guys, don't go anywhere because now we're going to go behind the wheel of this car with a very special guest. And we're going to talk a lot more about how the car handles, how it drives. So stay tuned. Oh, look at this. It's amazing. Oh, yes.
Getting
amazing
out of trouble,
sound.
It's good, isn't it?
It's amazing sound. All right, guys, so as promised, I'm in the new MINI racing car, and I am actually the co-driver today because behind the wheel I have Charlie Cooper, the grandson of John Cooper, and he's got a lot of things to share with us about the brand and then, of course, about the car. Charlie, thanks for driving me around in these amazing racing cars. But before we talk about that, tell me more about your history with the brand. I know you're a MINI ambassador, and tell me more about the connection with the brand, which clearly some of us know, but in case some people don't.
Yeah, so obviously my grandfather John Cooper started the MINI Cooper.
Of course.
Raced in Formula One. They were world champions in 59 and 60. Yeah. I think some people don't even know that actually, that are fans of the MINI brand.
Yeah.
They were, Cooper were Formula One champions. Yeah. But yeah, I worked with my dad who started the John Cooper Works brand way back in the early noughties, so 2001-2. I was a young kid out of university, worked on John Cooper Works, and been involved in the brand ever since, in and out. So yeah, I I love racing. I'm an amateur race driver like
Awesome.
yourself, and just to be involved in the brand is incredible.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your involvement with the brand. Like, what do you get your hands into?
So I've been a new ambassador for the last 5 years. Like I said, I was involved in John Cooper Works right at the start.
Yeah.
I went and had my own career in marketing and advertising for a few years, but now, as well as working as an ambassador, going to amazing events, you know, like around here, like at Goodwood.
Yeah.
I get to get involved in some pretty cool projects.
Yeah.
So everything from the Pace Setter, which I think you've seen.
Yeah, amazing project.
All through to kind of some of the new models coming through, and it's just really exciting to be involved in the team. You know, I get to speak to Oliver Heimler, who's obviously the design director of MINI, and his team, and it's it's not a bad job.
Yeah, of course not. That sounds like fun. So now let's talk about the car, right? So we're inside the JCW Bulldog Racing. Tell me first, how does it drive? Like, what do you think about the car?
It's a race car, so it's pretty difficult on the roads, I'll be honest. So yeah, there might be a few times where I've got to concentrate. So yeah, obviously very stiff suspension, which is great on the track. I personally haven't driven it on the track. I'm looking forward to. The guys want to get me over to the ring to have a go, which I can't say no to.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully, maybe I can do my ring license and a few endurance races, and who knows, maybe I can
compete in the future. Yeah, that would be amazing.
But yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's got the power from the GP, so you've got over 300 brake horsepower. The Mini Challenge cars that I raced, they have 250, 270. So I think this is a good power for front wheel drive. I think any more, and I think it's difficult to set up after that.
So tell me more about the Mini's history with racing. What makes it so fun to race a Mini, either an older one, a newer one?
Well, I think if you look at the story why my grandfather got involved with Minis from Formula One, they raced. Sorry, he drove a very early Mini Cooper to the Monza Grand Prix, funnily enough, and got the drivers to have a go. And it was just the balance, you know, the four wheels on each corner. Even though it was a car that wasn't perhaps built for racing, it handled like a dream. And I have a classic Mini race car that I race at the Revival and things like that. But going through to the modern, since BMW took over the brand, they tried to keep that handling ethos, you know, the go-kart handling. And every iteration has been a great car on track. And I think that's why the Mini Challenge is being successful, why people love driving them. And even through to the new electric generations, the way the car drives has to have that go-kart handling, and again makes it a great car to race or to take on track. And I think you see here in the UK, maybe not so much in other countries, but there is a big enthusiastic group of people that love taking their Minis to the track. You see them modifying them, some of the older generations, and I think I hope I'm going the right way, by the way. Yeah, but you see it a big kind of enthusiastic group that love taking their cars on track.
All right, Charlie. So if you were to pick one Mini racing car aside from this one, which one would it be?
It would be my classic 1964 Cooper S. It's a little pocket rocket, but it also, when I race it, like at the Revival, it kind of just makes you feel like you're jumping back in time. And you can see why my grandfather loved the car so much.
Now, if we talk about the future of the Mini brand, what can you tell us? It's something that we should be excited about.
I mean, obviously the John Cooper Works brand is very close to my heart. I've been involved in it since the start. I think the fact that there's a future for the John Cooper Works brand in the age of electric is really exciting.
Agreed.
Lots in that field to kind of look forward to. And I think just the Mini brand is so suited for the move to electric. You know, the brand is already announced that it's going all electric by 2030. But also, you know, I think for people that love driving, like myself, like yourself, that's such an important part for Mini as a brand. So having the John Cooper Works element is going to be really important in the future, and it's made me really excited, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Mini, they were teasing for quite some time a JCW electric, and they even show a GP3 format of it, so that's got to be super exciting to drive. And I guess that's the future. I mean, we're heading towards electrification, and I've always felt personally that the Mini format, the Mini design, and being so compact, it always fits the electrification, you know, a lot better than any other brands, basically. I mean, I've been driving the Mini Cooper S, you know, quite a few times. I actually drove it, and it's fantastic. I mean, it gives you even more that mini feel, honestly, than anything else. So definitely excited about the future.
The thing is, as a driving enthusiast, obviously with road cars, there's lots of limitations for safety.
Sure.
I wish road cars felt like this a little bit. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It's
It'd be
more
kind of
fun.
wild, honestly.
It might be tiring if we were doing a 3-hour journey.
Long trips, might not be easy. No, this looks really, really fantastic.
I mean, the thing is, with a front-wheel drive race car, they have to be very forward-focused, obviously.
Yeah.
So very different to driving a rear-wheel drive car on the track. So I think, you know, like you wouldn't set up a road car that's front-wheel drive like this. Because,
sure.
I think maybe a few just everyday drivers would
exactly.
have a tough time.
Well, Charlie, thanks for the quick overview. We're gonna keep driving for a while. So far, really, really impressive car. It's super fun. It's gotta be a ride on the track, so that would be the next step.
We'll have to get you on the track in one.
That would be the next plan. So thanks again, really
Cheers.
appreciate it. Guys, thanks for watching. Once again, Charlie Cooper behind the wheel. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.